So those who were absent yesterday, information for them that don't miss the sessions. The attendance is mandatory for all the lectures. So this is what the our subject title is, electronic system design. In that, yesterday we have gone through the syllabus and the pattern of this subject, okay, what is there in this subject, and the course outcome from this particular subject, that after completion of this subject, what the knowledge the students will get one. So with that, we will go with the unit number 1, and those means all has to just open the notebook and put today's date and write down the title of the unit 1, that is introduction to power semiconductor devices. So definitely it is compulsory to all the students that you supposed to be write down, prepare your own notes till this online sessions are going on. Once it will be offline, so definitely we will dictate in the class and that you will note it down there. So what the strategy it is going to be implement from the 15th, so that the authority will on the whatever the instructions will come to us, so definitely we will convey to you whether to you have to come up down daily, and or the only for practicals you supposed to come, or whatever the decision will be there, so that we will give it to you. Okay, but right now as this is the sessions, online sessions are going on, so you supposed to prepare your own notes. So the contents, for if you have gone through yesterday's syllabus or the ppts, already it is been shared. So I think the sharing is not there, but it is prepared. So today itself we will share the all the study materials as that of the last semester we did. Okay, so the contents of first unit, so it is having mainly the 3 points only in this, scr, triac and diac. So this is what their construction working vi characteristics, construction working vi characteristic, like that we supposed to study in the first unit. So this is the total theoretical this unit is consist of. So we supposed to just remember the little concept of the old, that is the before this SCR or the thyristor family, you already have studied the diodes, transistors, so how they works or the internal structure of them. So that is also you supposed to be remember, as I told yesterday that it is a prerequisite for the this particular power electronics unit. So this is what we are going to study in this particular unit. So what is this SCR, triac and diac, why the names are there, what it means? So one by one we will go with that. So as usual, just I want to see that from your side that how much you can give the answers for this one. So it is a very common and simple, the basic questions I have prepared depending on our ENTC as far as it is been concerned. So whatever the you have studied till now, so from that it is expected from you that you just put your answers in the chat box, because it is necessary. If these concepts are not clear, so you could not get the much knowledge from the henceforth. So it is must for all the students, so just go through this all the questions and try to put your answers in the chat box. Even though it is wrong, no issue, but at least I want to know that how many of you are aware of all this functionality and the constructions and the features of the diode. So that is what the you just go through it and just try to note down in your notebook also. So this is the question and the answer for the same that you have given in that way also. So it starts with that the what is diode. So in one line we are expecting that the answer it should be. So just check it out. Second one is true or false. Third one is you're supposed to write the our applications of diode. Then next question is asked that whether it can convert AC to DC. Then the next question was that okay, diode is a one common component. So how much voltage it can sustain in a normal condition? That is what been asked. And lastly, one it is asked that what is the difference between they are the two types of the diode, normal diode and Zener diode. So in one line only, you're supposed to give the answer for this one also. Who is on waiting? I will just a minute. No one is here on waiting. Okay. So for this quiz, and I supposed to check out the answers also here. Okay, at least all are writing. Very good. So all are giving the answers. Very nice. That means the basic concepts it is clear to all of you. I can see that all the girls part students are giving the answers. What happened to boys, I don't know. So definitely our HOD will take care of the boys in the coming session, because after many recalls also they are just not responding. Okay, so the answers you have this much paragraph you have typed or copy pasted. I'm not getting here, but in that the answers are correct. But it should be from your own answers. I am expecting over here. Okay, let us go with these answers. We will go ahead. The next slide is for the answers only for this. So the first question was that the what is diode? So it is the electrical component that allows the flow of current in only one direction. So what is the case of in Zener diode? So the answer someone has written that it will work in both modes, that is forward bias and reverse bias. But the main function of that one that is in the reverse bias. So that was the answer for the last sixth question. What was the second question? That is unidirectional, means it works in a only one direction, that is in a forward bias. So if you are looking in a technical manner, is it not working in a reverse bias? So overall, in general, no. But if you are looking into the depth, so the reverse current is also flowing. Got it? But the answer is the diode is unidirectional. Applications of diode. So many applications are there. That is, it is used for the rectifier, signal limiter, voltage regulator, switch. So that is the main use for the this thyristor we are going to see. Signal modulator, so that is also there in the thyristor. Signal mixer, that is a mixing of the two signals, that is carrier signal, modulating signal. In that also, somewhere these diodes are being used, demodulator and oscillators. Then the fourth question was that the convert AC to DC. Even though it is converting into the pulsating DC, but anyhow it is going to convert AC to DC. So the answer will be the S for this one. So the next one, the filters and all other circuit connections also there, but it converts the AC to DC. Then what was the maximum voltage it can handle? So definitely the mainly the diodes are been manufactured by using two types, that is the material, so silicon and the germanium. So both are having the different volts, so that is what it is given, 0.7, 0.3. But the globally the silicon is been preferred. And difference between Zener, that is the what we have discussed, that it used as a voltage regulator and it has been used for in a reverse bias direction, and the diode will work in a forward bias direction. So this is what the a little recap of what we are going to see ahead. So this is what again the for the remaining students or those who are not remembering that forward bias, reverse bias, what was the construction, what is the VI characteristic. So for them, this particular slide I took. So PN junction diode. That means how many layer? Two layer. How many junction? One junction. The symbol has it has a two terminal, anode, cathode. The symbol it is been shown here. And forward biasing means connect the positive supply to the anode and negative to the cathode. So that will be the forward bias. What is reverse bias? So that is also shown in this slide. So this is self-explanatory from this particular slide. The VI characteristics, that means the relation between the V and I, that is input and output characteristic also we can say to it. So this is the very important for any type of this particular components whatever we are going to learn in this particular unit. So that one also you're supposed to observe, okay, how it is the VI characteristic of diode, normal diode, and what the about whatever we are going to learn ahead. Now, as the title of this particular unit, that is the power electronic components or devices. So what is this one? So whenever this particular components are going to be deal with the AC power or the DC power, so that time these particular components are been that much sustainable to handle this particular AC or the DC. So the parameters or the characteristics of it has to be enhanced, and that is what the it is requirement of a power electronic devices, and that is what it is written over here. That is to either it can be used in a AC, that is to convert from voltage to current, or to control actually the current or the voltages. So various modes are there, various methods are there. By using these components, you can either convert or control the respective electric power. So for that, mainly as I told that globally, the main basic material for the construction or the manufacturing that has been used is the silicon one. So that is the silicon properties also we supposed to be remember. So as it is a semiconductor and atoms, neutrons. So in that detail we should not go, but we should know about the silicon's atomic structure. Then the different features of this power electronic devices, how it differs from the your normal electronic devices. So that is it is usually larger than the used for the power related concepts or the applications. Mainly they are going to be used with the as a switch, because whenever the higher power comes in the picture, so that time the security of the components, that is the damaging of the component, the it is very hazardous. So to avoid that, the switches are very important. Whenever the exceeding the higher upper limit of the voltage or the current, so it has to be stopped there itself. The circuit should be get cut off. So for that, it should be the use of the switch, it is going to be used. The various information related, the communication related, whatever the applications are there, so for that also this type of power devices are going to be used. And by using these power devices, definitely the power loss will be the more one. So to reduce that, the construction or the design parameter is also very important, like that the packaging and the heat sink. You might be aware of the heat sink, what it is. So it is just nothing but that the particular material which is been attached with that particular device, so that whatever the heat is going to be dissipate, so it is going to be absorbed by that particular heat sink, and it will secure the this device from damaging. Because more heat, it will definitely will damage to the this particular device. So for that, the heat sink is also very important for power devices. You might be if you have opened that the amplifiers and all that one, so inside that you might be seen on the this PCB, various components are been mounted. But for some components, that is the this SCR type or the transistors type, the white type of that plate, it is been attached. So that is working as a heat sink to dissipate the heat or to distribute that particular heat. So this is what the use of this or the importance of this particular the heat sink. So these are the few features given of the this power electronic devices. Then we're supposed to see that the family of this particular power semiconductor devices or the switches, because mainly it has been the main focus is as used as a switch, that is on off, to make it on or to make it off. For that, so it is mainly been categorized like the two-layer device, three-layer device, and a four-layer device. So as we have already seen that the diodes, transistors, which are the two-layer device and the three-layer device respectively. Now we have to focus on the next one, that is the four-layer device. So already it has been used. The diodes we have used as a rectifier, if you are remembering. That is the half-wave rectifier, full-wave rectifier. The same we are going to implement by using the thyristor. Then what is the use or why it is needed? So it is a what we are going to learn from this thyristor family. So if you can see in the slide that all the different devices names are being given over here, which can be comes under the category of this thyristor. So from that, whatever the this highlighted the SCR, triac and diac that we are going to focus in this unit. So SCR itself, it is known as the silicon control switch or rectifier. So if you are going by nomenclature, that is SCR. So that is the silicon controlled rectifier. So its main use is for the rectification. Rectification means what? Convert AC to DC. But the word controlled is telling much more about this device. That is total, the as we are remembering, AC to DC means the positive half cycle, negative half cycle, positive half cycle, negative half cycle, and that is going to be gives the output as only for the positive half cycle. So positive half cycle is from 0 to 180 normally. That is the half. So from that 0 to 180, all the power we have to convert, transmit, or some part of that power has to convert or the transfer. So that is called a controlled. We can control this particular power transformation. That is सगळी पॉवर पुढं फॉरवर्ड करायची का त्याची निम्मी 45 degree 90 degree we can convert or the we can forward it. So that is called a controlled. So how it is going to control? Definitely in coming session we are going to learn. So this is what the basic family structure of this power semiconductor switches or the devices. So other than these three, GTO and SCS, this MCT, so they are also there from the same family, that is the thyristor family. So let us go with the introduction of thyristor, that is a half controlled, full controlled devices, because as the first our bit is the SCR, so it is also known as the half controlled device from the family of thyristor. Now this particular slide, it is also the history of this particular thyristor. That is, before the thyristor, the transistors was been used. Before the transistors, the vacuum tubes was been used. What is the use of transistor in any circuitry? That is been used normally as an amplification, and before that it was the vacuum tubes, and you might not be seen or you might not be studied. So that's why intentionally this particular the picture I have put over here. That is, in older radios, if you are having the big radios, and if you open that, so inside that this type of vacuum tubes are present. But nowadays the electronics technology has gone ahead, so nowhere we can observe this type of the vacuum tubes. So they are also working as a transistor or this diode working. So after this, the semiconductor uh, version came in the market after this vacuum tubes. The so little history it is been mentioned over here, that is in the 1956 this work on the power electronics has been started. So firstly the vacuum tubes or these devices were used, and afterwards now the thyristor are going to be used for the conduction or the for converting or to control the power. So this is what it has been given. So for this, how these vacuum tubes were look like, so I have put here the picture for it. Nothing else, we don't have to study that one. So this is what the start of this particular SCR. That what is SCR, the introduction part. So it's a general introduction, that is it is a very popular component from the thyristor family due to fast switching action, small size, high voltage and current rating. It is commonly used in a power electronic applications. It has 3 terminals. In coming slide, we will see the symbol of it. SCR may be used as a switch. So how to turn on? By applying positive gate signal when anode is positive with respect to cathode. So these two conditions are required to make the SCR on. How the SCR may be get off? So by interrupting anode current. That is whatever the supply is there. So if you cut off that, or cut off in the sense there is a minimum threshold value and maximum threshold value. So if that voltage or the current whatever we have supplied, so it comes below that threshold value, so definitely SCR will be get turned off. So there are various methods of this making switch off. So that also we have to study in this unit. So this is what the construction of SCR is there. That is PNPN. That is two. In a diode, we have seen that only two layer. That is PN. But here PN structure is there, and in detail it has been shown on the left side. That is how the layers are been constructed, and it is giving the output as a SCR, that is silicon controlled rectifier. On the right side it is given the symbol for this SCR. So this PNPN, in that also, if you are observing here, if you are remembering the construction of transistor, NPN, PNP. So two types were there for the transistor. So it is also been here. So if you are concentrating over here, so if you can see the cursor, so P type emitter, N type base, P type base, N type emitter, and one more, it is the N type over here. That is PNPN in this way. So P, definitely it is known as the anode, N it is known as the cathode, and the section or the region near to cathode, that is this P, it has been connected and named as a gate. So this gate is playing the main role in activating or to control the this SCR. The symbol, if you are looking over here, so as it is the having three terminals, so anode, cathode, and the gate. So this is the symbol for the SCR. And as I told that it is a four layer device. One, two, three, four. Four layer and three junction. J1, J2, and J3. So that we should remember always, as this is the base, and coming whatever the points we are going to learn, so they are based on this diagram only. So all has to concentrate, and all has to draw this particular diagram, what we can say the symbol also in the notebook. So I will just give the 1 minute, and you just draw the rough diagram for this particular symbol and this block symbol also. Give the title that SCR, and below that draw the right hand side whatever it is shown, that four layer construction. So it is expected from all the students that you should note down this all the whatever I am just instructing to you in your notebook. So while drawing, you just get the habitual of just handling this diagrams and all that. So that's why I am asking to draw in your notebook, because this time definitely you're supposed to give the offline exam. Okay, we will go ahead. So this is what I was telling, that if you are remembering the transistor symbol or the types of the transistors, so it is also nothing but two transistors are connected in this particular manner. That is back to back, we can say the connection of two transistor. That is on the left side, if you are looking, that one PNP and another NPN transistors are connected with each other, with the same regions are connected to each other. That is also there, and the named is that emitter base collector. At the same time, emitter base collector, in this way, because as we know that there are the terminology changes if the type of transistor gets changes, that is from PNP to NPN. And in detail how internally it is been constructed, so it is been shown on the right hand side. That is, first it is the PNP Q2 and it is the NPN Q1. So how the internal construction it is there, that is shown in this diagram. And if you are looking from the outside, so it is has the three terminals only: anode, cathode and the gate. So again, the forward biasing, reverse biasing, the same concepts are there. So what is the concept of forward biasing? If the positive terminal of battery is connected to anode and negative terminal is connected to cathode, so it is forward biasing, the same concept. And reverse biasing, that is the opposite one, that is negative terminal connected to anode and the positive terminal is connected to cathode, that is reverse biasing. So that is required, the basic concepts. So here the whatever the sentence it is written, so that is written for the to make the SCR on. So in coming slides we are going to learn that how to make it on and off also. So only the forward biasing is not sufficient for SCR. The gate is playing the main role to make it on, off or control. So three terms are there for this one. So this is what we were talking about. So we were talking about that the working or the modes of operation of SCR. So how this particular SCR is going to work, or how many modes are there. So basically there are three modes. So the as the name insists over here, so it is forward blocking, forward conduction and reverse blocking. Like that the three modes are there. So as the name suggests, the first two modes are use the forward mode, that is forward biasing. But in one it is a blocking and in one it is a conduction mode. So what is the main, a small difference is there. So what is that? So if you are looking for the diagram, so definitely from that you will come to know that this is what the concept is. So only second number, that is forward conduction mode, in this the SCR is working fine normally. The other two modes, that is blocking modes, so in that only reverse current is going to flow, and if that reverse current goes excess, so it will damage this particular device. So this is basic introduction of this all the three modes. So how they affect or how to configure this particular device so that it will goes in a forward blocking or forward conduction, how it look like, so that we have to see in the next slide. So first we will see the forward blocking mode. So what is this forward blocking mode? First see the diagram and then just go to the explanation, whatever it is been written over here. So forward blocking mode it is. That means forward bias is there, but still it is blocking mode. Why? If you are looking for this particular diagram, so anode is connected to positive, cathode is connected to negative. So the J1 and J3 are forward biased. But at the same time, J2 is in a reverse bias. That means the depletion region, if you are remembering the depletion region, so it gets a maximum one, and that time it is not allowing to just pass the current through it. This particular depletion region, it is not going to allow the current flow, and due to that it is blocking mode. It is noted like that. Now you just go through that the whatever it is written. That is, SCR is connected in such a way that anode terminal positive, cathode terminal negative, while gate terminal is kept open. That is very important. Gate terminal, it is kept open and that is not connected anywhere. And due to that, J1 and J3 are forward bias and the J2 is reverse bias. That is the simple concept of forward blocking. So what happened due to this? Due to this, a small leakage current flows through the SCR. Because due to this depletion region is not allows to flow the current. But there is also limit. SCR acts as a open switch in this mode. But if you are applying this battery voltage more than the whatever it is been rated, so that time this crosses the threshold value and that depletion region it will demolish. Demolish means it will just make that the forcefully that depletion region will get minimized and the excess current is going to flow. And definitely the excess current, when it is going to flow, that particular device is going to be damaged. So this is the very risky and not been used any time. This is the mode of forward blocking mode of the SCR. So this is what it has been mentioned over here. So only this small leakage current it is allowing in this mode. So that also in one line, if you want, how many modes are there and which mode, what happening. So in forward blocking, forward bias is there, but leakage current is there. So in forward blocking, what is the status of J1, J2, J3? That is the junctions I am talking. So J1, J3 are in forward bias and J2 it is in reverse bias. So that is to be noted. This is forward blocking mode. Next one we will see, that is forward conduction mode. Forward conduction. So it is what we can say the default mode in which the SCR is to be. That is, if you are see the difference between these two diagrams. See the terminals where it has been connected for forward blocking and forward conduction. What is the difference? Only if you are looking carefully, the change is the gate terminal. Here gate is open and in this gate it is been connected. So how it is been connected? In such a way that the gate terminal, which is always the P region, so it is connected to the positive of the battery and the negative terminal it is connected to cathode. So if it has been connected in such manner, so what will be the effect? So that SCR will goes in a forward conduction mode. So what is happening? Just read this one so that it will be clear. So it is all the play of these junctions J1, J2 and J3. So SCR or the thyristor comes into the conduction mode from the blocking mode. It can be done in two ways, either by applying positive pulse to gate terminal. So that is what it is given. Positive pulse to gate terminal. Means for a second, we're supposed to give the positive supply, that is forward bias, to the gate. Or, as I told, increasing the forward voltage. Increasing the forward voltage. That is what in here I was explained in forward blocking. की इथलं जे व्होल्टेज आहे हे तुम्ही वाढवत गेलात तर काय होईल, आतले जे फ्लो ऑफ फ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आहेत ते हा बॅरियर तोडून इकडं फ्लो होतात from cathode to anode, and that gives the conduction of the excess current. And that is what the another way of here they have told की कशा प्रकारे तुम्ही SCR ऑन करू शकता, एक तर एक्सेस व्होल्टेज देऊन किंवा दुसरं small gate voltage or gate current देऊन. So by giving this gate current, that is the normal good healthy for that particular SCR. And the next point related to this is that we don't have to give continuous gate current. Only a pulse of gate current we supposed to give. Once it is been given, that depletion layer will minimized and the flow of current has been started. So afterwards you can remove that battery source or that disconnect the gate current. Then also SCR will be on. It is not like that if you stop that the gate current, so SCR will be goes in a off condition. No, just it requires the trigger. So that trigger, it is been given by this particular gate current, and once it is been fired, it will be on. But how to make that off, that we will see afterwards. That is simply the concept is, if you are making this particular input voltage below the threshold value, so that SCR will goes in a off condition. So that is required for this particular SCR, and that is what it has been written also here. The avalanche breakdown occurs at junction J2. Avalanche breakdown, it is nothing but whatever the deflation layer is there, so that gets minimized and it goes into the conduction mode, and it will act as a closed switch, because every time this SCR been used either on off, that is as a switch, because switch working is either on or off. So in that way it is going to be work. So this is the what forward conduction mode. So if you want to write a little about this one, so you're supposed to write in this about junction. Forward conduction mode, in that forward bias is given. J1, J3 are in forward bias, and gate current is applied, due to which J2 is also goes in a forward bias. J2 is also going in forward bias for a while. कारण आपण पल्सच देणार आहे, ट्रिगर देणार आहे, फक्त ते कंटिन्युअसली गेट करंट द्यायची काही गरज नाहीये. त्यामुळे आपण पॉवर सेव्हिंग होती, हीट डिसिपेशन कमी होतं. सो मेनी ॲडव्हान्टेजेस आर देअर. So once it is turned on, it will be in a on condition only. So this is what forward conduction mode is here. Okay. Then the next mode, that is the third mode, is What was that? Anyone has written? Read out. Yes. So this mode is nothing but reverse blocking mode. So I again, the wording itself, it is just telling about that. So reverse biasing. Reverse bias means anode negative ला connect करा आणि cathode positive ला connect करा. So that goes in the reverse blocking mode. So the as shown in this particular diagram, that is for the reverse blocking mode of SCR. You can observe the p-type layer, that is the anode, it is connected to negative terminal, and cathode is connected to the positive terminal, that is reverse biasing. And what is the gate? Gate, it is open, no connection for the gate. So can you imagine that what will be the effect on J1, J2 and J3 with this construction or the connection? It is written there, no issue, but by just looking at the diagram, can you imagine or can you able to tell what will be the effect on junction J1, J2 and J3? Yes, so the J1 and J3 mainly they are going in the reverse biasing. They are going in a reverse biasing, while the J2 becomes the forward bias. J2 becomes the forward bias, but no use. Even though the J2 it is in forward bias, J1, J3 are in reverse bias. Due to that, is the current is going to flow? The answer is no. The answer is no. And again, the small reverse leakage current, it is going to flow. Reverse leakage current, it is going to flow. And that is what it is written in this particular wordings. So cathode is made positive with respect to anode. The junction J1 and J3 reverse bias, J2 forward bias. This reverse voltage drives the SCR in reverse blocking mode or the region, which results to flow a small leakage current through it, and it acts as an open switch. That is again the comes here as a switch. It is a open switch mode. The device offers high impedance in this mode until the voltage applied is less than the reverse breakdown voltage. So there is also some threshold minimum voltage, and once your voltage will goes beyond the reverse breakdown voltage, so again it will just what we can say, the breakdown of the junctions, all the barriers of this depletion region, and reverse current is going to flow heavily. Reverse current is going to flow heavily. That is called the avalanche breakdown. So if you are looking for here, if the reverse voltage is increased beyond VBR, VBR that is breakdown voltage, then avalanche breakdown occur at J1 and J3. These two junctions get collapsed and the reverse current flow through the SCR. Reverse current is going to flow through SCR, but this reverse current causes more losses in SCR. Got it? So that will damages this particular SCR when reverse voltage applied is more than VBR. So this term is very important. So note it down. VBR, that is breakdown voltage. So it may be forward breakdown voltage. It may be reverse breakdown voltage. There is a limit. जर पॉझिटिव्ह म्हणजे फॉरवर्ड बायस असताना पण तुम्ही एक लिमिट पर्यंतच व्होल्टेज इनपुट देऊ शकता, आणि रिव्हर्स असताना पण एक लिमिट आहे की तिथपर्यंतच निगेटिव्ह व्होल्टेज तुम्ही देऊ शकता. जर त्या दोन्ही बाउंड्री क्रॉस झाल्या, सो इट विल गिव्स द रिझल्ट, दॅट इज द डॅमेज ऑफ दिस पर्टिक्युलर device. So these are the three modes what we have seen about this SCR. So this is what the SCR VI characteristics. Just observe this diagram, the terminology and how it came and what is the more focus. In the next session we are going to see. So what to observe here, that is whatever the terms we have used, key breakdown voltage, so that avalanche breakdown, so that you supposed to just check it out. VI characteristics म्हणजे V versus I. This is what it is shown here, the positive, negative, so how it comes. So definitely in the next session we will focus on this. Okay, so this is all for today's session. I hope you understand the basic concepts of this particular SCR. Now it's time to just put your attendance in the chat box. Don't miss the attendance. Yesterday I think roll number 15 has duplicate, means not change the update the roll number. So please just check out the new roll number you have updated for the login name. So thank you for attending this session. Thank you. You can leave the session.